What's up everybody, it's Sean here today to give you guys a review of the Serious Player Only Player 1 in this yellow colorway. So Serious Player 1 is a brand new sneaker manufacturer based out of China, and this Player 1 silhouette is their debut performance basketball model, which has been reviewed by other sneaker YouTubers, for example, like Chris from Wear Testers. So they sent me over this pair to check out, to wear on court, and to give you guys my honest and transparent thoughts. So that's why I'm filming this video for you guys today. So this pair retails for $158 US, which is the equivalent to roughly 205 Canadian dollars. And according to their website, this Player 1 is their flagship model, and it's built off the insights from past iconic models, which is why this pair is clearly inspired by the Nike Kobe line. Specifically, I think it really looks like the Nike Kobe 8. So I know the majority of people watching are probably going to be quick to bash this model, saying it's basically a takedown or a fake Kobe. But let's dive into the details of this pair, and you'll see there's actually a lot of redeeming qualities about this model, which makes this a shoe that you'd probably want to consider if you're looking for a Kobe-like shoe to wear on the court. So first off, the upper of the sneaker, this is constructed out of this TPU knit, which they call a nerve knit upper. So you can see we have these strands of TPU in black and yellow, which are glued together, which gives this shoe one of its best properties, which is it's very lightweight and it feels like it's barely there when you're rocking these on the court. Surrounding the front toe cap, we have a transparent fuse overlay, which gives you added durability, and this runs down the entire bottom length of the shoe, as well as covering the eyelets of the sneaker as well. The eyelets themselves are covered in this black colored TPU material. Surrounding the heel, we have this black colored TPU heel clip with Serious Player Only branding scripted across in the middle, and this gives you additional structure and support for the back end of the shoe. And pressed onto the medial side, we have the Serious Player Only logo, which is done in this gray color. And I believe, I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on this, but I think that each of these pairs are individually numbered, and you can see on the back of the left foot, we have the number for my specific pair. So this back quarter end of the shoe, this is covered in this black colored material, which feels like a textured leather to the touch. This was a welcome addition as it gives it a certain level of premiumness as opposed to just being entirely made out of TPU and plastic. And then turning our attention back to the front, so for the laces, these only come with one lace option and they're just your standard flat style lace in black. Underneath this, the tongue is covered in this black colored netting, and it's padded with a foam layer within it, and then the top of the tongue is covered in more of that textured leather material that we saw earlier on the heel, and once again we have the Serious Player Only logo glued on in gray in the center. The back of the tongue and the interior back end of the shoe, this is lined in a silky smooth black colored nylon, and then here we are taking a look at the midsole, which is definitely my favorite part about this entire sneaker. So the insoles are actually both the insole and the midsole. So these are drop-in midsoles, meaning you can actually remove them entirely, and according to their website, they can be replaced once the foam breaks down and you're looking for a fresh pair of midsoles. So you can see the majority of this midsole or insole, it's crafted out of EVA foam, and they call it Evan Lawn. So this is very similar to a Kobe insole, and it feels very well padded and very well cushioned. If I flip the insole over to the other side, you can see we have these white colored foam pods, which is what they call Popcorn, and I'm guessing here, don't quote me on this, but this looks like an eTPU foam similar to Adidas Boost, and it's stacked on both the forefoot and the heel. And in the center of this, they also incorporate what they call a gum foam, so when all three of these foam technologies work together, it feels very responsive and very well cushioned on foot. And if that wasn't enough, if you take out this drop-in insole, laying on the very bottom of the interior of this shoe, there's another thin layer of what looks like eTPU foam as well, so you can really tell they dedicated a lot of time and effort to make sure the shoe was well cushioned. Turning this pair over to the bottom, so the outsole here is constructed out of a yellow colored rubber. The traction pattern here is done in a combination of both herringbone along with these small yellow nubs, and we have the Serious Player Only logo found on the heel. And one thing to note is the rubber used on this shoe, it was very thin. When you compare it to other basketball shoes from big brands, it's definitely noticeable that the rubber here is significantly thinner, which in a sense gives you more ground feel, but at the same time, I have my doubts about how durable this shoe will be. And underneath the rubber, in the middle, we have a carbon fiber shank plate as well, and this helps with torsional rigidity and midfoot support, but given how thin the rubber is, I also have concerns with the durability of the shank plate in conjunction with the rubber, because I feel like the rubber might be a little bit too thin and a little bit fragile, and when you have a super hard carbon fiber shank plate right in the middle, this could cause some abrasion and ripping of the rubber down the line. And on the lateral side of the forefoot, you can see the midsole extends outwards, acting as an outrigger as well, which is definitely a much needed and great feature when you're looking for stability on your side-to-side cuts. So that breaks down the look, the design, and the features of the Serious Player Only Player 1 model. So I wore these for 2 different ball runs, and while it's a little bit on the shorter end, I think it gave me a decent understanding and feel of how these shoes perform. So first off, from a sizing standpoint, so they sent me both a size 10 and a size 10.5 because I told them I was kind of in between sizes, especially when it comes to Kobe's. So for this pair, I feel like it runs a little bit on the shorter side. So getting these in a size 10 and trying them on, I felt like my toes were near the edge. And because this drop-in midsole or insole, the edges wrap up onto the sides of your feet, and it personally felt a little bit irritating. So because of that, I opted to actually play in the size 10.5, which gave me about a thumb space between the top of the shoe and the edge of my toe, but the width of the shoe was fine, and I didn't feel any more discomfort from that insole touching the pinky toe of my foot. So if you're someone that's in between sizes, I'd probably recommend rounding up to the bigger size. Unless you have really narrow feet, then true to size might be okay for you. Moving on to the comfort on this pair, so this is definitely the best part about this sneaker. That drop-in insole or midsole feels very comfortable. It's not only super well cushioned, but it's not a mushy cushioning, so you have that responsiveness and bounce back when you're jumping and landing. And even though it's pretty stacked, you still have a ton of ground feel on this shoe. I guess that's partly because of the fact that the rubber is so thin. So you feel very low and very connected to the ground, which is a great thing, especially if you're making hard cuts, while still giving me the cushioning that I needed. So I'd say that this probably isn't the best shoe for a super heavy player, and it's probably more of a guard or wing player sort of shoe. Another aspect about this pair that I really liked was the traction. So I know I was kind of bashing the thin rubber that they use on this, so yes, that would probably impact the durability of the traction, but when these are brand new straight out of the box, the traction is really solid. The courts that I was playing on was clean, but I wouldn't say that it was pristine. There was definitely some level of dust on it, and this pair was really gripping the hardwood really well. I wasn't sliding at all when I was wearing these, and as someone that prides myself on playing defense, I felt super confident wearing these, and I didn't feel like my feet were sliding or slipping at any point. So with all that out of the way now, let me lace these up, toss these on feet, and I'll show you guys how these look. If I have to wrap up my thoughts, I feel like this plays like a Nike Kobe sneaker, but it's more of a takedown and less premium version, and also feels less beefed up as well. The materials feel very thin, so the knit upper is very lightweight, which makes it breathable and feel very one-to-one with your feet, and there's not as much cushioning around this collar area, and the rubber outsole, as I mentioned before, is very thin as well. But generally speaking, it does play similarly to a Kobe in that you have a decent amount of cushioning and responsiveness while still giving you a ton of court feel and great traction as well. So if you're someone that prefers to play in Nike Kobe sneakers and you're looking for an alternative that's available on the market, then I would definitely recommend this pair to you. This is definitely not a paid review. I'm not getting any kickback for this video. And my thoughts here are 100% legit and honest. So for anyone that decides to pick these up and play ball with them, let me know in the comment section down below. What are your overall thoughts on the Serious Player Only Player 1 model? Drop a comment down below. Are you a fan of it? Do you not like it? Either way, let's talk about it in the comment section down below. If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at sgo8, check out my Twitter at sean.go, and visit my website at seango.ca. So until next time, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoy this review, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one.